What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. And today, going to do something that a few people have been asking for this one. The best ever Premier League 11. When I say Premier League 11, we're going to pick each player individually. It's not, the whole team. So we'll go through each position, have a little debate, see who's the best team in each particular position. And just something to do, really. It's the international break. There's not too much going on, man. Do you know what I mean? England versus San Marino. I will not be doing a watch along for that game. I think if Arsenal don't come back soon, we'll all be going a bit crazy, man, having to watch international games. Although Turkey against Holland was a decent game last night. That wasn't bad. And listen, surely I was on time today. I was here. Nah, man, I think I was here. 2:00 kickoff, man. I was there today, people. International break has been painful, to say the least, man. It really hasn't. And we've still got quite a long way to go. But listen, I suppose when Arsenal come back, I'm sure they'll stress us all out enough. So let's enjoy the break while we've got it. Big up everyone in the comments. Thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate all your support as always. Smash a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Obviously, yesterday we had a few bits of news came out in terms of Arsenal. Martin Odegaard was injured playing for Norway yesterday, rolled his ankle slightly. And there was a lot of people panicking on social media. Oh, Odegaard could be out for weeks and, we can't afford him out right now. But the Norway manager confirmed after the game that the injury is not serious and he thinks he will be available for Norway's game at the weekend. He was seen walking today as well as his team arrived in Marbella for training. So I don't think we got anything to worry about at the moment in terms of Odegaard and his fitness. And also the news came out that Saka had a little reoccurrence of a problem against West Ham for Arsenal. He will miss England's game against San Marino, although Gareth Southgate has said he should be available for the next game. So nothing too major in terms of the two injury issues there with those two players, but definitely something to keep an eye on. It was definitely something that worried people with the injuries. Big up Alvin, big up D Solo, salute Big C, bless up to the chat. Real ball talk, big up Curtis, respect, bro. Yeah, everything's good, man. Overhyping Odegaard and destroying the confidence of ESR. Nah, listen, I think at top clubs, you have to embrace that competition, man. He can't just have that number 10 space for himself. You have to compete with people. This is top level football. Paul said I was on time. Real captain. Yeah, man was on time, man. I'm telling you, man, is slandering my name now, telling me I'm late when I'm not. Man was on time today, I'm telling you. Big up the opinionator Gunnar, hope you're well, bro. Big up Brett Jeffers, sorry. Big C, hope you're well. Big up Ebby, what's happening, bruv? England always play San Marino. It's like a yearly occurrence. It must be a way for them to get confidence or something. Tom said England are the 21s are on. Eddie up top and Smith Rowe out wide. Fair enough. Big up Steve Stringer. Yo, smashing Jim, listening to the main man. Big up. Get them weights on there. I always calling me Cameron Jerome. Don't let Deluded do that. Big up Deluded, man. I did a show with him earlier on his channel. Go and check that out, man. Very good, man. Melbourne said, Big C, can't trust YouTube highlights anymore. See how they got us with Pepe. Oh, man, slanderous. Big up Curtis, hope you're well. Yes, big up Peter Mounsey, man. Let's pick this Premier League best 11. I want your interaction, people. I want you guys to tell me who you feel was the best player in each position. And tomorrow I will be doing a show probably focusing on everything that's happened with financial fair play. FFP is going to be abandoned. And I did put something on social media saying that I think this will pull Arsenal further behind from clubs like Manchester City, Manchester United and Chelsea, because if you give them free reign, Man City can run wild. Chelsea, United, they can really spend big. And I think this could be even more difficult, but it will expose Stan Kroenke, in my opinion. So I will do a show tomorrow talking about FFP being abandoned and what that could have an effect on Arsenal. So we will talk about that tomorrow. Right, people. Stay busy in the comments. We're going to pick our best ever Premier League 11. Now, I've gone 4-4-2 based off the fact that, let's be honest, when the Prem was at its very best, most of the big teams played 4-4-2, right? You know, everyone was pretty much playing 4-4-2. And I think we need two strikers in it. There were so many good strikers in the Prem in them days that we need two strikers, not just one striker and two wingers. So, this app is called Create Formation, Melbourne. Create Formation, very good. Go and have a look on there. Yeah, I am going to try and get Turkish on. Obviously, Turkish is very good with the facts and figures and stuff regarding Stan Kroenke. So I'm going to reach out. I'm trying to get a couple of guests on for tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. 2:00 tomorrow. Let's start with the goalkeeper. I want your opinions, people. I think you could. I'm seeing a few of you: Van der Sar, Peter Cech, David Seaman. The one that's in my head, I got to be honest, is Peter Schmeichel. And I didn't really like him, you know, because he had a lot of confrontations with Arsenal and Ian Wright. But I think Schmeichel is the one that is standing out in my head. Man said Renarson. He can be the ball boy, although he'd probably miss throwing the ball back to the players. Schmeichel, Seaman, or Peter Cech. Prime Cech, I reckon. Van der Sar. A lot of different keepers. Peter Cech in goal. Schmeichel. Loads of Schmeichels. Peter in goal. Yeah, I think Van der Sar, Cech, Schmeichel, David Seaman. Certainly not Almunia. That's, you know, he cost us a Champions League. So I'll start off with Peter Schmeichel in goal. I think it's fair. I think he is the best goalkeeper. He was immense. You know, he used to command his penalty area so well, spread himself. He used to do like that starfish thing when he came out and block it. People saying Peter Cech, he was fantastic, Cech. He was. I just felt Schmeichel was that little bit more aggressive and commanding than Cech. So I would just probably go for Peter Cech behind Peter Schmeichel. David Seaman underrated. Father of Casper. I knew a Leicester fan would have to mention Casper. Casper Schmeichel's very good, though, I have to admit. Like father, like son. Not quite as good as his dad, but definitely was a very good centre-back. Pete De Gea was the best, in your opinion? I think Schmeichel had a bit more than him. You know, De Gea was definitely good, but I'll go with Peter Schmeichel in goal. Desmond saying Jens Lehmann. I don't think Lehmann was. I don't even think Lehmann was our best keeper. I think Seaman was better. Neville Sarfo said Kev Edwards. He was a legend, man. Welsh legend. Let's go to right back, people. Who are you saying at right back? I'm thinking. Initially, I was kind of thinking Gary Neville, Lauren at Arsenal. You got players like. Then you're looking really at modern players, really like. Maybe Trent and players like that. Man, I'm saying Prime Bellerin. No chance, mate. He can go and plant trees. Maybe Ivanovic at Chelsea was good as well. Very good. But yeah. People saying, no, Neville wasn't that great. Yeah, he was part of a great team. As an individual, wasn't that great. Melbourne said Sagna. Bellerin, he even plants trees. Yeah, man's saving the world, but I don't think he'll get him in this team. Yes, big up Jamie, man. I hope you're well. Alvin says Lee Dixon. Prime Lauren was different class. Bakary Sanya, criminally underrated. Ivanovic at right back. Pablo Pereira. Irwin, Lauren, Trent, Alexander. Would you put Trent in? I don't think he was good enough defensively. Paulo Ferreira was good. Viv Anderson. I mean, I'm only really doing Premier League. It's got to be Invincible Lauren or Neville. A lot of you saying Neville and some of you saying Lauren as well. That is a tough one. Aspilicueta again. Dennis Irwin. Probably Irwin. Irwin was very good. I mean, didn't Irwin play left back a little bit as well? Longevity, is Gary Neville. Lauren again. Bellerin. Micah Richards. Kyle Walker is better than Neville. Gary Kelly, I think, was he? Gary Kelly, was he Leeds United? I think, wasn't he? Leeds United. I'm sure, was he right back at Leeds, and they had Ian Hart at left back. Lauren overall was better. Sagna. Let's have a look. Have they even got Lauren on this? Because I did look earlier and he wasn't showing up. So we may have to leave Lauren out just for that. That's a nightmare. So I'm gonna have to put Gary Neville. I wouldn't put him in there. I would probably have gone with Lauren, but the apps let me down. I let Neville sneak in there just for the longevity because the apps let us down. But I would probably have gone with Lauren. I think he had more to his game. I know, man. The app it said earlier update, and Lauren will be in there. He's still not there, so I'm just putting that Neville for the sake of the picture. Yeah, they done Lauren dirty, man. Left back for me is very simple in my opinion. It can only be one man really, but we can have the debate. You could say Dennis Irwin, you could say Patrice Evra, but for me, it has to be Ashley Cole, or Cashley Cole as we call him, you know. Unbelievable left back. Defensively, the only left back I've really seen handle Cristiano Ronaldo, handle Messi at times. It seemed to be Aaron Lennon was always the winger that used to dish up Ashley Cole. But I think it's an absolute no-brainer with him. He's just an unbelievable left back, you know. I was so disappointed when he left. He was just an incredible player. So we'll go for Cashley Cole. Is Baines up there with Cole? I think Baines was brilliant going forward. He had a better delivery than Ashley Cole, but defensively, not even close. Not even close. Yeah, Ashley Cole by far the best left back. Any other suggestions? Couple of people saying Evra. Evra was good. He was good, but I don't think he was as good as Cole. Nigel Winterburn, not as good as Ashley Cole for me. I think Tierney's probably going to be better than Winterburn. Yeah, Aaron Lennon, man, them Tottenham days, he was a problem. He was so short, but very quick on the turn, wasn't he? Aaron Lennon, he was proper sharp, man. He used to give him problems. Used to give Ashley Cole problems. I know, Lauren, I was going to pick Lauren. The app let me down. I updated it and Lauren wasn't showing up. So I've had to pick Gary Neville just for entertainment purposes, man. Cole's definitely better than Evra. 11 is going to be hard. You need to do a squad of 18. Some absolute ballers are going to be left out. It's going to be mad. It's going to be mad. Curtis Irwin over Neville. I did like Dennis Irwin. I'm not going to lie. I don't like Gary Neville. Just because of how we used to. Yeah, look, Dennis Irwin's not even on there. The app's let me down again. I would have picked Lauren. So anyone watching, just know that I would have picked Lauren over Gary Neville. But for the app, I've just got to go with Gary Neville. Schmeichel over Czech. I'm giving a thumbs down. Come on. Schmeichel won the lot, mate. You know what I mean? I think he was better than Czech. Slightly. I think he was more commanding. And, I do. I think Schmeichel was better. Right. This centre-backs one's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. There's some real quality players. Yeah, the app's trolling me, man. I updated it as well so that everyone was available. Give me both of your centre-backs. Give me them together. Just write both of them. I've kind of got an idea in my head who I'm going to pick. But I want to see your suggestions. What two would you pick? Man said Neville developed the app. He probably did and left Lauren out. Machine said Ferdinand and company. Zid said Vidic and Terry. Rio and Terry. Ferdinand and Vidic. Rio and Adams. That would be a good one. Adams and Vidic. Campbell and Terry. Rio and Adams. It's the same like four maybe, and you're just rotating them. Ferdinand and Ledley King. There's a different one. Ledley King. There are some great centre-backs. Obviously, you've got Van Dijk. Obviously, big up my boy Theo in here as well, man. Where's your comment? Because I see you just said... he said Van Dijk and Rio would be stupid. I mean, they're quite similar, aren't they? He's like the evolution of Ferdinand. I mean, is there an argument for putting Van Dijk in there? You got Campbell and Ferdinand. I mean, those two, I think they played a few times for England. Company and Terry. I'm going to say my first one, the first one I have to pick is Rio Ferdinand. I've got to be honest. He's probably my favourite centre-back outside of Arsenal centre-backs. You know, the way that guy reads the game and, you know, he was the only centre-back I used to see that never used to slide on the floor. He just used to stand up and take the ball off people. Van Dijk is great, but not in yet. Yeah, for 1 or 2 great seasons, he hasn't done enough yet to be put. Rio was mad clean, man. Man said, yo, you could hang the kit up after the game. You know, some of these other men were sliding all over the place. I thought he was elite, man. And then next to him, you could say, okay, John Terry, Tony Adams, and Vidic, possibly. Who would you guys partner him with? Who would you partner next to Rio Ferdinand? He won 6 Premier Leagues. Sol Campbell, you're saying? 6 Prems for Rio Ferdinand. Got to have Adams, Sol Campbell, Kolo Touré. Yep, Stam. Stam was a beast as well. I think if we're looking at longevity, it's got to be JT. And don't get me wrong, come on, I you know, Tony Adams. I love Tony Adams. This guy, man, he cleaned up again. These man, you look at these man's trophy cabinets. They're full. They've got everything. They've got the whole collection. How mad is it that the whole back four is English? They probably all play together for England. Although, like I said, I would have probably picked Lauren at right back, but the app's done me dirty, man. You know, Campbell leaving Spurs to join Arsenal. What are you saying? I should have put him in purely for that. Campbell had a dip towards the end of his time at Arsenal. And I think Terry had more, you know. Look, I'm the same. Nobody likes Thingy, man. Nobody likes John Terry, really. Let's look at the things that the guy's done, you know. But I'm taking away emotion. The guy won everything at Chelsea. He was their captain, their leader, but he was immense. He was immense. You can't deny it. Yeah, I know, bruv. I know I've done Arsenal a bit dirty. Like I said, Lauren would have been in there at right back, but the app has stitched me up. Let's move into the midfield. Let's do the wingers first let's go to the centre of midfield because I think this could be the hardest debate of all of them, the middle of midfield. Realistically, you're looking at Gerrard, Scholes, Lampard, Vieira, Keane, Yaya. How do you pick 2 out of them? It's going to be almost impossible. I want to know your 2. Some people saying De Bruyne and David Silva as well. I do love Kevin De Bruyne, but I'm going to... Makaleli, Essien, people are saying. Tom said Vieira and Keane. I mean, it would be a brick wall. Vieira and Lampard. Vieira and Gerrard. Keane and Vieira. Elneny and Xhaka, yeah. On April Fool's Day, isn't it? Gerrard and Vieira. Vieira and Scholes. Scholes and Gerrard. Vieira and Yaya. Vieira and David Silva. Kante, Vieira and Keane. Gerrard has to be there because of how we carried them. Keane and Gerrard and Vieira. It is all down to preference, isn't it? It's all down to preference. Vieira and Scholes. Oh, man, this is a hard decision. Pogba don't get in there. I like Pogba, but he doesn't get in there. Gerrard, Vieira and KDB, Scholes and Vieira, Kante and Yaya. Right, let's just... No, I'm not switching formation. I committed to it. 4-4-2. Majority of these players that we're picking, they played 4-4-2, you know? Let me end any Arsenal slander, first of all. Let's just get that sorted out. Let's get the big man in there. Vieira! Whoa! Let's get him in there, and then we're going to debate the other one, because this is so difficult, because to me, it's Paul Scholes or Steven Gerrard. And I love Yaya Touré. Yaya Touré is best for me, is almost unplayable. But he didn't have the longevity of Scholes and Gerrard. I'm not picking Keane. And I'm not picking Lampard. I think Lampard was an amazing goal-scoring midfielder, but I think Gerrard and Scholes were better than Lampard, in my opinion. It's a straight shootout. The ginger assassin at Man United and the Scouse beast at Liverpool. What are your opinions? Who would you go for? People saying Gerrard never won it. Oh, man, this is tough. This is a tough one. Scholes, he won everything, didn't he? Gerrard, Scholes won way more than Gerrard. It's tricky. I mean, who do you purely think is a better player? Who do you think's a better player? Stevie G, big up all my Liverpool friends at primary, made me love Gerrard. Do you know what? When I was younger, this would have been easy. I would have said Gerrard straight away. As I got older, it's like I appreciated what Scholes did more. You know, the dictating of the game. He played till mid-30s. He won the Champions League. Oh, man, leaving Gerrard out is crazy. But man said Scholes sits deep. Vieira makes them runs. Keane is the greatest captain ever. Has to be in there. No chance. Vieira and Gerrard, great leadership. Stevie G carried Liverpool by himself. Cesc Fabregas, I mean, he was unbelievable, wasn't he, at Arsenal, but he doesn't. It is a hard one. It is. Kurt, yeah, that's a hard one. Scholes and Gerrard, incredible players. I only chose Scholes because he won a lot of trophies. Scholes had a better team. I mean, that's the thing. Scholes has won more, but he had a better team. Gerrard carried the Liverpool team, but Scholes was wanted by nearly every team in Europe because he had kind of a European style in the Premier League. It made him unique ahead of his time. But Gerrard still won a Champions League. He led that team to the Champions League. Oh, so this one's hard. I wish I'd have picked 4-3-3 now. Shade said Gerrard slipped. Henri said Scholes. I'm going to go 4. I'm going to go for Paul Scholes. And believe me, that's a hard decision. It's a tough one. Even in my head now, I've got flashbacks of Gerrard scoring 30-yard bangers, but I'm going for Paul Scholes. Simple fact, the longevity. He bossed that Man United team year after year after year. And he, even at the back end of his career, he was bossing Barcelona in the Champions League semi-final. He was... Yeah, you're right. You know what it is, Jay? You're right. I can't win. It's impossible to win. You can't win. You know, you can't win. If I pick Gerrard, it's right. If I pick Scholes, it's right. Oh, man, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I said Gerrard, 4-3-3 would have been both. Tough call. Gerrard played Henri in twice with bad back passes. Scholes was a machine. He had the longevity. Done Gerrard dirty. He came out of retirement and bossed the midfield. I'm sticking with it. It's a tough one. I feel like I've done Gerrard so dirty. Nah, I'm sticking with it. Let's go with that. Apologies, Mr. Gerrard, but man said I'm sacked. Listen, man, there's no right or wrong answer. You know, it's one of them. There's no right or wrong answer. Scholes won everything and would have probably got in any team in world football. But hey, let's move on. Right wing. The right wing is quite simple, innit, really? You know, there ain't a lot of... Well, I suppose you could have a bit of a debate. David Beckham. I'm considering Cristiano Ronaldo a right winger because I think when United signed him, he played more on the right. Obviously, you've got Salah. You've got... I mean, what great right... There haven't been that many great right wingers. David Beckham... It has to be Cristiano Ronaldo, don't it? I don't think there's any debate. You're talking about potentially the best player to ever play in the Premier League, along with probably Thierry Henry. Melbourne saying, Bex, come on. You can't pick David Beckham ahead of Ronaldo. It's not even a debate. Robin at Chelsea was special. That was definitely special. I loved Robben. He was a proper player. Ronaldo, Salah cannot tie Ronaldo's ace. Let's go to the left wing. This is tricky, people. Left wing. Oh, Bale as well. I mean, was Bale? Bale did play on the left for a bit, didn't he? But I think mainly on the right. Yes, Anthony, man. Big up Curtis, bro. Them international break streams. It's got to be done. It has to be done. Who are we putting on the left? I'm going to throw out some names. Robert Pires, Ryan Giggs, Eden Hazard, Alexis Sanchez. If you can think of any more, let me know. Best left winger. Would you consider Bale a left winger or a right winger? Giggs, Alexis, or Hazard? Oh, man. Curtis Shaw was good seeing them chips. Yeah, a few chips flying around, man. A few keepers have been lobbed. Bale, Alexis, Hazard, Giggs. Giggs all day. Overmars. Giggs consistency. Giggs, but damn, Alexis got a shout. It's sad because Giggs' stats are not unbelievable, but it's the longevity in it. He's done it for so long. He's won everything as well. Prime Sanchez was unbelievable. Oh, don't. You're making me want to pick Alexis over Giggs. Sanchez, he was the only shining lights at Arsenal. Oh, man. Is it wrong of me to pick Alexis Sanchez over Ryan Giggs? Giggs, bro, although he was a rival, he was out there for so long. Sanchez, amazing, but longevity, probably Hazard. How would you go Hazard? Put Alexis in, man, represent. As an Arsenal fan, it pains me to say Giggs. Oh, man. This is a tough one. I'm such a big fan of Alexis, man. And even Hazard as well. Yeah, I'm not. Do you know what it is? I was never the biggest fan of Ryan Giggs. You know, I got to be honest. And don't get me wrong. It sounds silly to... Giggs is a fantastic player. He played for Man United for 10, 12, 15 years as a left winger. But I never felt like Giggs was like this star player, you know? He was just part of greatness. Giggsy on the left, I'm tempted to go elsewhere, people. I'm tempted to just go with a modern player, Alexis or Hazard or someone. People saying it has to be Giggs. Hazard the best, but has to be Giggs. Mane, Sanchez doesn't cut it. 20 years at the top level. Giggs just didn't get goals. Hazard, if he spun Arsenal. Damien Duff, he was good at times, to be fair. On pure ability, surely Alexis. Is Alexis Sanchez the best left winger to ever play in the Prem? Or is it Eden Hazard? Ask Dixon and Adams about Giggs. I know, he ran wild, didn't he? He did run wild. Giggs played over 20 years in the Prem. It's true. It's hard for me not to say Giggs. The longevity is too much. He's performed at the top for too long. It's got to be Giggs. And I don't like doing it. You're looking at Hazard, you're going, well, Hazard's gone Real Madrid and flopped. You know, he's gone to Real Madrid and flopped. You look at Sanchez, went to United, flopped, went to Inter Milan and flopped. So it's hard for me to not put Giggsy in there. Alexis at his best was phenomenal. It's going to get interesting here as well, people. It's about to get interesting. Oh, man. I think we know one name that is certain that has to be in this front too. He's French. He's the number 14. There's a statue of him. In my opinion, he's the best player to ever play in the Premier League. The best player to ever play for Arsenal. The best France in my... Vavavoom. What a player. Thierry Henry. My favourite ever Arsenal player. In fact, he has to be on the left because he always drifted to that left-hand side. Who plays with him? And I've seen you put about 10 different names already. So I know this is going to be difficult, right? King of Kush says Aguero. Timbu said Rooney. AFC said Bergkamp. Mishane said Bergkamp. Shearer. Rooney again. Henry and Suarez. Henry and Aguero. Cantona. Shearer. Drogba or Van Nistelrooy? Oh man, there's some big options there, man. Shearer and Rooney. So what was you trying to leave on Riyadh, bruv? This is a tough one. This is a real tough one. Bergkamp, Aguero, Rooney, Shevchenko. Shevchenko didn't really do anything in the Prem. If we were looking at pure stats, it should be Alan Shearer. But I'm telling you now, I'm not picking Shearer. No disrespect. I'm going to acknowledge him as a goal scorer. Unbelievable. I take away from him a little bit. He didn't do anything in Europe. Now, I know this is basically the Premier League's best 11, but all these other guys were going Champions League and doing bits as well. You know, Shearer hardly played in Champions League. Big C, it has to be Suarez, bruv. That season was mad. It was crazy, man. It was Robbie Fowler and Henry. Aguero. Suarez is the one. Henry and Aguero. Drogba, Rooney, Fowler, Suarez, Drogba. You lot are making life difficult for me, man. Fran saying no Shearer. Shearer, as I just explained, bruv, I'm not going for him. As a goal scorer, of course, Shearer, he's the top goal scorer of all time. But I think all-round game, there were better strikers than him. Now, I know strikers' number one job is to score goals, but I think there were better players than Shearer up front. You know, Suarez, 31 goals, 12 assists in one season. Wayne Rooney, Bergkamp, Drogba's done it on the big stage. It's got to be Shane Long. Put Henry on the left, have Rooney up top. See, I'm not even sure Rooney would be up top anyway. Andy Cole, Van Nistelrooy, Torres. Oh, man. Adi Akinfenwa, Ian Wright. So many options. I'm leaning towards... This is a tough one. This is a real tough one. Because it depends whether you're going for longevity or you're going for just them at their peak. Was their peak... How high was their peak? He's the record goal scorer, which make him the best goal scorer, but not the best player, in my opinion. I think there have been better strikers than Shearer in terms of they can offer more than him. You know, Shearer was getting goals, don't get me wrong, but I feel like there's players that were better footballers than Alan Shearer. You know, and like I said, he wasn't really playing Champions League that much. This is a tough one. This is a real tough one. Ebby said Rooney. South London said Aguero. I'm not even sure if Aguero's won the Golden Boot in the Prem. I'm going for... Do you know what? As I'm saying who I'm going for, it's hard for... I'm having debates in my mind. Man said stats. Oh, man. Who are we going for, people? Man said Wilfred Boney all day long. Drogba only got more than 15 goals in a Premier League season once. Wow. Dennis Bergkamp. Shearer scored a hat-trick against us when he was 17. This is a tough one. I'm actually struggling to even think who to put. Adebayor. If not, it's Rooney. Is it Rooney, though? It's hard because if we're going off the longevity, then you're going for your Rooney, Shearers and that. But if you're going for the peak, you know, if you're just going for that peak where they were touching, has Wayne Rooney ever touched the levels that Luis Suarez was touching, or, you know, them man there? Shearer. Nah, I don't think it is Rooney, you know. Cantona not in the convo. He could be, but I'm going to go for... It's a tough one, this. I'm naming you as potentially the best ever striker to play in the Premier League after Thierry Henry. I should have planned this before I came on, really. Zola, Bergkamp, Rooney, Owen. Could have been Bergkamp. Aguero's been bossing it for 10 years. Put Franny Green or Curtis Shaw. I was tempted to put myself in there, to be fair, but I didn't show up on the website. I don't know why they're slandering me like that. Scored over 30 goals at under 16s level, mate. Why am I not there? I'm going to go for... Didier Drogba. I know a lot of you won't be happy with that. I'm going for him because, hear me out, people. I think he changed how strikers were dealt with in the Premier League. Drogba changed it from 2 up front to 1 up front. Man saying you're a cheat. People are fuming. Listen, you can't, there's no right answer, people. There's no right answer. Do you know why I've gone for him, right? I was going to go Luis Suarez. I got to be honest. I was going to go Luis Suarez, right? But Suarez only really had maybe 1 or 2 top level seasons. Drogba changed football. People don't understand. You look at the stats and go, okay, only scored 16, 17 goals a season. He gave Mourinho the ability to say, I'm only going to play with 1 striker. I don't even need 2 because you're doing 2 strikers' jobs in 1. And what Chelsea did then, they went to 3 in midfield and they dominated. It's no coincidence. I know. I've slandered people there. I have slandered a lot of strikers there. And like you're saying, Theo, I'm playing 4-4-2, so maybe you don't. No, but imagine Drogba's hold-up play and then Henry playing off him. It's a tough one, man. There's no wrong or right answer. I got to be honest. I was going to put Luis Suarez up there. Could be Suarez. I said I've unsubscribed. Do you know what? Do you know what? Even now I'm thinking it should be maybe Luis Suarez. But he didn't do it for long. Man said lockdown has made me unwell. Oh, dear. It's harder than it looks, you know. I should have actually planned the team before I came on. What a team that would be, by the way. Man said you're getting sacked in the morning. Let me just think. Should it be Luis Suarez? Give me your other names. You lot are saying, big up Babs in the chat. Dennis Bergkamp. It's a fair point, but I think I've leaned more towards the goal scorers. Should it be Drogba? You lot are calling me out so much on Drogba. I'm making myself think, bro, are you serious? Suarez all day long. You've had a shocker. Luis Suarez, he didn't do it for long, but he was unbelievable, wasn't he? Aguero's better than Drogba. Suarez has to be there. Young Michael Owen was different. Drogba out, Suarez in. Aguero, come on, goals. Thing with Aguero, I just feel like I don't know, he's kind of ticked over the years. He has. He deserves a lot of credit. Can only be Shearer or Rooney. Nah, see, I don't know if it is, man. I don't know if it is. Rooney's never touched them man's heights as a striker, really, you know? He was better when he was young, the young buck. Man said goal scorer, surely Aguero. Is it Sergio? I'm not even sure if Sergio's won a golden boot, you know? Man said Dwight York, surely. Nah, not Yorkie, man. Cole was getting more than York, to be fair. Shamak. I think I'm going to change it. I am. I think I'm going to change it, but I think I'm going Luis Suarez. I'm going for I don't even know if he shows up, you know. I feel like he touched a height that very few strikers touched in the Premier League. I'm going to be honest, yeah. I was going to say Suarez, but I kind of dislike him a bit. But I'm going to go for Suarez. That season, I think he touched a height as a striker that most strikers didn't touch. And I'm going to be honest, he took the mick out the Premier League that season. You know, he scored, 31 goals, got 12, 13 assists. He was unbelievable up front that season. I know it was a lot shorter time, though, so he's kind of lucky to get in there. But I know you're saying he never won the league, but he reached a level that I feel like not many strikers reached in the Premier League, you know. If you look at, all right, Shearer scored loads of goals. Drogba led the line well. Bergkamp was a great creator. But Luis Suarez, man, he was on a different level, you know, as a player. And don't get me wrong, listen, people saying in the comments, there's 2 players in that team, especially in John Terry and Luis Suarez, who I insanely dislike for the personal things they were doing off the pitch, you know. Believe me, this is a lot harder than it looks. It's a very difficult team to pick. I should have actually planned it before I came on, but Nah, but look, Jashar with the super chat. Curtis on Arteta settings. No Keane, no Shearer, no Rooney. Bro, I'm not becoming a member. Bro, Rory Keane can't get in that team over Vieira and Scholes, bro. I know you're saying Shearer, yeah, over the goals. Could have put Shearer in, really. But I just, nah. And who's the other one? Rooney. Nah. Rooney, for me, he was a beast at 18, 19. Went down a little bit. Luis Suarez, 31 goals, didn't even take pens. You know what I mean? He's that level of that season, apart from Henry, I don't think I've seen that from any other striker. Got to be honest. And people saying Gary Neville, believe me, people, the app let me down. I was picking Lauren from Arsenal. I did the update and he didn't show up. So just for the sake of the video, I picked Gary Neville. As if I'm gonna pick Gary Neville, people. I can't stand the guy. I was picking Lauren, but he didn't show up, unfortunately. So just for the sake of the video, I had to go with stinky Gary Neville at right back. Man said wrong formation. I only went 4-4-2 because, you know, back then most teams played 4-4-2, innit? Can you imagine the link-up of Suarez and Henry? Because Suarez was actually a very good link-up striker as well. But, yeah, maybe I should have actually picked this team before I turn up. You know, I turned up and it gets difficult. And said, remove Terry. Who you putting in there, though, bro? Real talk. I'm taking out my personal, you know, feeling towards players, man. John Terry won every trophy, bro. Company and Campbell deluded, saying, not for me. Man said John Company. Vincent Company, 2 injury prone, man. Sol Campbell, not better than Rio, man. Not better than Rio for me, I got to be honest. I know, man, the racism, but I've had to remove all emotion. I'm just picking straight team. Yo, I picked Drogba. There was a meltdown. Man said he's never scored more than 20 goals. But my point was, I don't think any striker in the Prem outside of Henry has had a better season than that one that Luis Suarez had that season. I don't think no one's touched them heights. 31 goals, 12 assists, didn't take penalties. Gerrard was taking pens. He could have scored 40 goals that year. He ripped everyone apart. So I sneak him in there for that. But it's harder than it looks, people. I'm telling you, it's hard to pick the team. I still feel a bit bad I never picked Gerrard, but I'm a big fan of Scholesy, man. And Vieira had to be in there. Man said, get the cones for yourself. Yo, it's harder than it looks. I want to see some of you other man as well, you know, do this team as well so I can jump in your comments and run slander. It's hard. I was going to go for Sergio and Shearer. Obviously, he's got the numbers, but it's hard, man. Who's captain? I'll go Vieira. Vieira can be captain. You know, I don't want John Terry as skipper. And as I said, anyone joining late, I only picked Gary Neville because Lauren wasn't showing up. I would have picked Lauren over Gary Neville. I can't stand Gary Neville. Gerald better than Scholes. Listen, I'm going to get out of here. I can't take the slander. Let's say one thing. That's a great team, man. It is a great team. As I said, I would have kicked out Neville for Lauren, but he weren't showing up on the app. I think a lot of it, you know, you can have debates. Cristiano Ronaldo, Henry, they're going to be in every team. Brett said, manager, it's got to be Ferguson, hasn't it? Ferguson would win everything with that team, man. But, yo, it's hard work. Next time I'm going to write the team down because coming in here and trying to do it with you guys is difficult. You lot gave me 10 different strikers to choose from. Every answer was the right or wrong answer, you know? But you know what? No, I'm gonna give Wenger the job. I'm going to give him the job just for the sauce. I know Ferguson's the most successful, but I'm going to give it Wenger for the sauce, man. He would let them do what they want. He'd have them playing great football. And Henry, he knows how to manage Henry. So I'll give it Wenger, just out of being biased, you know. Opinionator Goonie should also do an underrated players 11. Yeah, I'll have to plan it, man, because trying to lean off the comments is not as easy as it looks. But I've said Arteta as manager, bruv. He can get the cones in for Wenger, you know. That's his rightful calling, isn't it? The cone man. But we'll leave that story for another day. 4-4-2 was tough, man. Maybe I should have gone 4-3-3, but we needed 2 strikers. But listen, big up everyone for tuning in. It's a lot harder than it looks, I tell you that. But I will be back tomorrow, 2 p.m. We're going to do a video tomorrow looking at FFP, what that means for Arsenal having, FFP being taken away, and, Man City, Chelsea and teams like that, Man United, they'll spend a fortune now, I'm sure. And are Arsenal going to fall further behind? And is Kroenke going to actually put his hand in his pocket? I think we all know he's not going to. So it could have a big effect on Arsenal. Do the most overrated combined 11. Yeah, we'll plan some. We'll definitely plan some more of these because international break is a bit of a stinker. Big up everyone for tuning in. Just a short video today, 45 minutes, and I'm out of here. Thank you for all your support and slander. Much appreciated. Smash a like on the video. Put your team in the comments. All you guys slandering me out there, yeah? When this video finishes, put your 11 in the comments because I want to know, and I'm going to give you lot some abuse as well. As I said, the only one in there, Gary Neville, he wasn't in there. He only got in because Lauren didn't show up, yeah? So I want to hear what you guys have got to say. Put that in the comments. I'll see you all tomorrow, people, 2 p.m. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bless.